Tonight.
Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the In the Psychic Flow Show with Carolan Carey.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a great special show on tonight with a special guest. I hope that you enjoy this show very much, and I hope it takes your mind off everything that's going on. And patience is a virtue, I understand. It's not something that I personally am very good at, but anyway, that's where we're at. A few things coming up. Let's see. I have Tiffany, if our producer Tiffany, if she would like to post that our event on November 14th, please feel free to do that. And if you are watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe and ring the bell, please. And that helps our ratings, and we'd be very grateful for that. We have a great program for our VIP patrons, and that's on the Patreon. I think I'm saying that correctly. And if you become a member for less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, you get privy to a lot of the backstory going on with all of our radio show hosts. We had some great events, Halloween Squares. You get privy to that. You get privy to special master classes, spirit circles, very interesting things, a regular show on Mondays where we kind of goof around, all of us radio show hosts, and you can watch the interaction. We really are a family. We really do carry on, and we think about each other. So we're one big group here at Goldylocks Productions, and we're all very grateful to Tiffany Michelle White, who does a fabulous job of maintaining all of us. She's like our troop leader and all of our shows. So I want to shout out to her. So this is Thanksgiving month. We have a lot to be grateful for, and I'm sure we're going to talk to Joanne about a few things. If you're interested in a reading with my special guest, Psychic Joanne Leo, please provide your date of birth information in the comments as much as you like, and your name, your birth name, your first name would be great. And you're going to be astonished by the information that comes from Joanne Leo's special blend of psychic numerology and readings from a heart and her Schuster cards and everything else that she does, her life coaching. You're just going to be blown away. I'm telling you, she's got to be one of the most popular guests I've had on, that we've all had on. She's a radio personality. She stops in at the Jimmy Mack show. She stops in my show. She's been on Angels and Healing Light. She's been on a few other radio shows over the years. Let me give you a little bit of background about this dynamite lady, Psychic Joanne Leo. She was a six-figure corporate exec. Now, to go from a six-figure corporate exec to doing this, she kind of fell upon her path quite accidentally. And she's done a great job of being coached and learning how to coach. And she has a unique style of readings from the heart, tarot with a twist, psychic numerology, what else does she do? Life coaching and her Schuster card. And now she uses some other cards too, as well. I think she's getting them all lined up here. And she is the boss lady tonight. Joanne, welcome. And thank you for being on our show.
It's great to be with you again, Carolan.
You know, I'm so used to you, and we're such good friends that I forget that I really have to announce you. I forget all your accolades. You're just Joanne to me. But I have to say, I've worked many events with you, Psychic Joanne Leo, and you are always busy. You are always remarkable. You're very patient with people. I mean, you are dogged. You sit there and read and read and read people all day long, and I have seen it. And you do an amazing work, and you just stun people. People are flabbergasted by the information that you deliver in such a short period of time. How do you do that?
Well, my gift has evolved over the years because I've been doing this since 1978. So that's showing my age. But basically, when I'm a master numerologist, And I also am an intuitive, but my numerology is channeled now. So the name on your birth certificate and your birth date is how you're registered in heaven. And when I went to channeling, it was like unbelievable because people are just floored. So when I do these shows with you and the cards I read, nobody reads those cards, the Schuster cards. It's a reading like no other. And I'm not saying that from an egotistical way. It's just that I'm very different. I'm a different kind of reader. And I tell people that when they book a reading with me, I say, well, I'm not your tarot card reader.
Right.
Not that I, am poo-pooing tarot cards. It's just that I'm a different kind of reader and I go very deep. And I love doing relationship readings, which is by their birth dates and their names and their birth certificates. So a lot of times that, I get a lot of people who are in the dating scene, and I go, call me first. Give me the information.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a very good tip. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have your eye on someone, you might want to save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble by getting their birth name and their date of birth. I don't care if it's your first date, on the way to the restaurant, on the way to the movie, say, by the way, what's your date of birth and what's your birth name? Make sure you slip that into the conversation and save yourself some aggravation, some tears, and some heartbreak, and get on that phone to Joanne Leo. She is fabulous. Her website is psychicjoanneleo.com, and you will find her phone number or contact information on there and the types of readings that she offers. Prices, something to match for everyone on there. And Joanne, the information that you deliver is so unique, and how would you say it? It's like just definite to an individual like myself. It's so because of the date of birth, because you're a soul reader, and you get the information directly from heaven based on that date of birth and the birth name, that the message that you deliver to your clients is they'll never get this information from anyone else. It is so tailored. It's remarkable. So with that, do you feel like doing some readings?
I'm ready.
Okay. I knew you were. Okay. So let me
I'm
see.
ready to go. Yep.
Okay, doll. Let's see. Good evening, Jill. Good evening, Allison from Florida. Hi, welcome to In the Psychic Flow. Jill Sheena's on here. Allison has her birth date. And I want to shout out to, here's Carol. She's on here. Wendy Ray. Karen Strauss. Hi, Karen. It's wonderful to see you. Okay, let me get back up to the top here and get on with our first reading, which I believe looks like Jill Sheen here. She jumped the gun. 8/22/1963.
1963. Now, what I want to say also, too, is that every year we have a universal year. So that plays into the birth date, too. So you have your birth chart, and then you have what's going on by the year. I also go by the, what's going on by the month, too. And that even gets into by the week. So a lot of people who are facing decisions or whatever, I go through a lot of different things to give them, the perfect information. As far as what Jill right now, this is all about what's fair, what's balanced, what's imbalanced or whatever, and working through finding balance and harmony. It also has to do with a lot of decision making. And I think that the big thing here is October, November, and December. I feel like this is a part where you have to weigh out emotional situations, people, places, and things. And I feel that I guess the best thing that I could say, because in Jill's birthday, she wants things, or pictures things in a certain way. And you have to be flexible. So I would recommend that when she goes through this period of October, November, and December, that she needs to become Jill Flexible. It's got to become her middle name. Okay. So I really feel that is something, anything that comes to good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. You've got to get into that mindset. I teach that in my soul classes. When we're talking about, getting our empowerment back, a lot of times when we go through life, we give away our power for maybe another person, a relationship. Maybe our self-esteem got dinged when we were in school or by friends or whatever. So I like to work with the soul where we can retool ourselves. So what I'm going to recommend is that she becomes more conscious of what, and to be flexible, and not be so rigid, or it's this way and it can only be this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jill, for joining us tonight. Let's see. We have Allison, Leah, 22, Allison, 11/22/79. So she's got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, she does. Well, she's got some powerful numbers there because they're all master numbers. And her achievement number is a master number as well. So not only her month and her date, but her achievement number, which in numerology, it's the month and the date make your achievement number. And I look at it from many different aspects. So what I want to say about what's going on with Allison, which I'm really, I think she's going to love this, is that she's on a whole brand new 8-year cycle coming up here. And the last year and a half maybe has not been an easy rodeo, whether it be with a work situation, family situation, relationships, or whatever, friendships or intimate relationships. It's usually a tough rodeo, that 18 months. But it's also one of the greatest learning experiences, because a lot of times you come to face things that need to go, to stay, or retool. So I'm really excited about where she's at right now, because I think she should get excited, because October, November, December is going to be moving and shaking. I think there's going to be a lot of fun things coming up. Also could be trips, could be family gatherings finally. And I do think that's going to happen here. I'm encouraging everybody not to get stuck into gloom and doom. In fact, I've got my foot in a lot of people's backs currently, because they're either fearful, they're stuck, or they get into this question mark thinking, and you can't do that. You just can't do that. You've got to love yourself, and you've got to still continue to set goals, and what else is possible. So I'm really excited, Allison, because your October, November, and December look really, really, really good. So be prepared to be spontaneous and to be flexible, because I think you're going to have a lot of fun, and it's finally going to seem like, oh, there's a bright spot here. Okay?
Okay. I think that answered your question, Allison, about what's coming up. Good job, Joanne. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see what else we got. Carol, 1951. And she's asking about career opportunities.
Okay. Well, I don't know if she's looking for a job right now, because it's hard, when we're not actually doing one-on-one stuff. But what I'm looking at, this pinnacle right now that she's in right now, because I'm going by the universal year. This is October, November, and December. And it's kind of like she wants a change, or there is a change. I think there's going to be changes, and I feel that there's changes, and wherever she's at right now. And I'm going to encourage her not to hang with the negative people, because when these changes come about, they're going to look for the ones that are the team players, the positive people, the upbeat people, and the ones that are the stirring the pot or gathering at the water cooler, being the gossipers. Those are the ones that are going to go hasta la bye-bye. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but I do feel like she's ready for a change. I'm going to look real quick at her 2021. And I want her to be judicious about making a change, but I really feel that there's a work change in the middle of next year, July, August, September. So hang in there. I think, or if you're looking for a situation right now, I do feel like there's 3 opportunities, and I think you're going to take number 3. I feel number 3, or it could be 3 weeks. So that, with intuitive work, you get the little dribs and drabs here, and I'm giving them to you. So I welcome you to do that. Be flexible is the key thing here. I would not make any major changes unless an ultimatum is given to you.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Good luck, Carol, on that. It sounds like great reading. Next up, we have a friend of mine, Karen Strauss, and she spells her name Karin, and her birth date is 1/14/62. Thank you for joining us, Karen. You're a great supporter. Appreciate it.
Well, here we got Karen is doing the same thing. The last year and a half, I really call it like a soul retooling.
Oh boy.
I know when I went through that cycle, I moved and from a house that I lived in for 20 years. You want to talk about emotional, right. Okay. I lost I lost my brother-in-law. Sometimes relationships will change. It's usually something, or if people are going through a physical problem or whatever, it's about, what can I do to heal? Do I need to take a natural approach? Of course, working with your doctors and things like that. But it's usually something where you're really, I'm telling you, it's a tough period, but it's a soul growth period. And I always say, when you're going through it, is it a blessing or is it a lesson? And if it's a lesson, say yay, okay? Because then when we get to the cycle that Karen's on right now, it's like, yay, I'm on a brand new cycle. I got 8 years, woo! And it's a great time to set new goals. It's really getting yourself retooled. I like to give, and I'm going to say this to Karen and for others that are listening out there, when you go through these different cycles, and especially the one where there's the 1.5 year cycle of retooling, I like to compare it to a book. We all read books. Well, you read the first chapter, and by the end of the first chapter, you either know the scenery or the place, the location, right. Maybe a couple characters, and you have a grasp at the end of the chapter. Well, it's the same thing with our life. Okay, we have many chapters that we have in our book of life. Is it a blessing or is it a lesson? And especially doing relationships readings a lot. I always say that there's, if you've gone through a relationship and it's ended or whatever, we got to breathe and we got to look at, okay, what was I supposed to learn from this experience? So that moving forward, you're moving forward with knowledge, not just with a broken heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's great. That's very good advice. And I know from personal experience that when you're having a year or a period of years, maybe you would classify that as a cycle, when you feel like spirit has ripped you through a hedge backwards, I can tell you it's a terrible place to be. It feels very unnerving. But when you do get to the other side, you're going to be like, oh, okay, now I get why I had to go through that. It kind of is like cleaning house.
Exactly.
But when it's spirit driven, spirit doesn't care if it's uncomfortable, painful, messy. They don't care. They just want you to get from B to A, and they don't care how it's done. They just do it. Right. And that's my take on it.
Right. I use the attic principle. You go, it's like for 8 years you've been putting people, places, and things up in an attic, and you open up the door and you go, "Oh my God, how did all this stuff get up here? People, places, things, boo-boos, celebrations, all kinds of good stuff, whatever." And as you go through the attic, you have the treasures. Oh, that goes in that pile. And then you have, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, if it's going to stay or go. And then you have the other pile, it's out of here. Okay. It's the same thing with life, and we can't beat ourselves up over people, places, and things and become the victim. That's one of my major things that I love doing with my work, because they just don't get a reading, so to speak, because they get the little bit of the life coach, which is the cheerleader, and you can do. And it's also working through the different issues that may not be the truth, you see?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we can convince ourselves and label ourselves, and it's not true.
That's right. Well, thank you for that. Great reading. Thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight, Karen. Wendy Ray. 2/7/1955.
What was that? I'm sorry.
2/7/1955.
55. Well, I can tell you, Wendy does not like drama. I can tell you that. But I do love that she does have sizzle, and she definitely has a booming personality here. Sensitive, balanced out pretty good with the Wendy Ray. Let's see where she's at right now. It's kind of like, I guess this year, the most important thing is not to get stuck.
Okay.
And your, and people, places, things, or your thoughts, it's kind of like, not letting other people rain on your parade is what Spirit tells me here. But I do feel that you're in it's like things shifted for you in July, August, and September in a powerful way. And now I really feel October, November, December, it's like you need to get your power back, or if you got your power back, now it's time to move forward and set your goals, because it is really, really a great cycle to be in right now. And you don't have a bunch of karma piggybacking on you either. So now is the time for you to make sure that you don't have any glue on the bottom of your shoes. Okay? It's time for you to, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start running, because it's good. You're in a good cycle. Mm-hmm.
If any of you that have received readings or receive some later as we get through our show, if you have any feedback, positive feedback you'd like to leave, I love to give that to Joanne. We always like to get a little validation while we're working. It's inspiring. So if you can deliver that would be great. So far I'm getting thank you very much, and that is terrific. And so I just wanted to pass that on, Joanne. You're not in a vacuum. Let me see who else we have. Robin Mcguire. Hi, Robin. Kavita. Oh, Kavita, I am so glad. Kavita's been on the show before. I have read for her. She had just texted me a question. So I'm going to give you her name is Kavita.
Well, look, I wrote it just right. Okay.
Oh, okay. And her birth date is 4/11/61. Okay. And she had just texted me about, she wants to know about love life, but she also had another question about her artwork selling. So let's see, I'm going to put that in there. I was going to tell her tonight when she texted me, I said, maybe you better talk to Joanne Leo tonight about that. So I'm going to throw that in there for her. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to see what you get on this romance, because I keep getting, I'm not going to say it so it doesn't interfere with what you get. But
well, I feel like she's ready.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like she's ready, and she's in a good cycle for romance. October, November, December. Now, what I have to tell you, Kavita, then he's not going to come knocking on your door, honey. So you got to get out there. That's number one. Number two is that, as far as your artwork goes and everything, and I do feel that you're very creative in that respect. It's about you doing different things of marketing, whether you're doing little exhibits, or if you've got an online store, you're going to have to do some marketing, because what I find with creative people, they're great at creating, but it just, everybody's a salesman. So I love it when people, and I've been doing this a long time, and I was in sales for 35 years, and people would say, oh, I'm just not a salesman. Everybody is a salesperson. Okay. Why? Because you have to present yourself, even if you're doing accounting. You understand, you work with other people, you work with clients or whatever. You are selling your image or your experience or whatever. We're all salespeople. You know who's the best salesperson? A dentist.
Right.
All right, here, just write out the thousands of dollars here, but they're not a salesperson. They're a dentist. No, they're everybody's a salesperson. But anyway, I do feel her creativity is very, very high on the totem pole here. When I get into her name, which a lot of people don't understand, your name on your birth certificate and your birth date is how you're registered in heaven. I can't do that on a show because that's what I do, in private readings. It needs a minimum of an hour when I work through that. But emotionally, I can tell you Kavita's very smart. She's very strong, sensitive, but she's a stuffer when it comes to her feelings, and you will have stomach problems if you don't correct that. So you have to be able to speak, and I would suggest, Kavita, that you learn how speaking in I statements. When that was said, I was hurt. When that happened, I was embarrassed. There's no fight with I, okay? So I know you're strong, and I know that you're, very creative, and you get ideas, and you're very strong in that respect, but you've got to be a better salesperson here.
I just want to thank you for that, Joanne. I just want to interject, Kavita. The word that I just got was stagnant. And I feel that where those paintings, I understand that you had just pulled them from there, or we're pulling them from there. I feel, since it was a restaurant, I feel it's a stagnant location. I don't think it's getting the traffic. So I think the next place you put them in, I kept getting the 3, and I'm going to stand by it. I feel there's a 3 in here someplace, 3 paintings through the 3rd month. But the word that I had just gotten was stagnant. So I'm going to throw that in only because I've read for her before. And I appreciate you taking the time, Joanne, to help her with this. So.
Right. And also I would encourage her, because Carolan, I'm a stickler when it comes to relationships. And especially that she's creative, she's got to be very careful. So I would encourage her to get a pen and paper out and make a non-negotiable list. Right. And a second list is what she deserves before she even thinks about getting into a relationship. And she needs further information on that. You know where to find me.
Yes. And, when you're putting in when you're texting in that phone number, ladies, if you're texting, you're adding a contact to your phone, and you're putting this gentleman's phone number in your phone, and you say, what was your date of birth again? And you put that in there so that you can call Joanne with it. Okay. I'm kidding. Okay. So let's see. Business. I hope so. Thank you from Allison. Valley Simmons. Good evening. Happy I caught you all on. You're welcome, Valley. We're glad to have you here. Her name is Valley, VALLIE, 8/21/64. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my goodness. Valley, we have the same birthday.
Oh. Tyler. Wait a minute. Maybe your name is Tyler. TYLA.
What is it?
I think it's TYLA or TYIA. Thank you. I am. I don't know what that means. Let's go with Valley since she hasn't clarified it.
Valley.
Yeah.
VALLIE. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So this is all about family responsibility that you're going through this year. And when I say responsibility, it checks all the boxes for all the categories, whether it be relationship, children, family, work. I mean, it's like the whole big thing here. But I do know that She's probably got a great sense of humor, I would say, and very, very good at communication. However, I feel she's very sensitive, and she's got to be careful or learn the lesson of not letting people hurt her feelings and being a stuffer about it because of that V. But it's also a very strong letter to have because it's somebody who's solid as well. Okay, so now let me see what's going on with her. The summer was a little tough as far as up, down, in, and out, or uncertainty. But now she's in a great cycle, and I'm excited about this. This is October, November, and December. This is like making new changes, new starts. Definitely moving forward. Don't procrastinate. I'm going to emphasize that strongly with her, that when you procrastinate is when you get confused. And when you're procrastinating means that you're listening to that voice in between your ears. You're not looking for what's right. You're looking for what's wrong, and then you procrastinate back and forth inside your head. And so you got to get out of your head, get that piece of paper out, do your pros and cons, and get unstuck, because you're in a cycle now to blast forward, making new changes.
Great. Thank you for joining us tonight, Ballet. I'm glad you caught us. Carol says, thank you so much. Linnell is here. Lovely Leo. Night again. Wonderful. She loves to see you, Linnell. Karen Strauss says, thanks. Needed that very much. Thank you.
Great.
We got Wendy says, thank you very much. Yay. Very correct. Robin
I like the feedback.
I'm sorry.
I like the feedback, because when we do these shows, I'm hoping and I'm praying that I'm on the right track.
It's a little different. Phone is a little different. You kind of get the vibe when you're doing phone. People can hear their voice, the caller's voice. This way, they can't always see what's written, what the question is, or what the feedback is. So this is a little different. So it's always nice to get that validation on this, particularly in this venue. So Robin says she loves you, Joanne. Joanne is great.
Who said that?
Let's see who said that. Robin Mcguire.
Thank you, Robin. That's sweet.
Oh, she says, if there is any time left, I will take a message. Robin, ROBYN 61669.
Okay. Well, first of all, powerful number for her achievement number, which I love here. It's called the Master Builder. She's just got to be, Robin, you just have to be careful, because you're very loving, very giving, and sometimes the fixer. And I teach this all the time. The fixers always wind up victims. And so, you're hard on yourself, but you're giving to everybody else. Mm-hmm. So you've got to be a little careful here and work on some of those changes. What I would suggest highly, strongly for you is to start adopting to thy own self be true. Because, and especially when you have these kind of numbers, that my spirit guide, it's a download from heaven is how I get my information. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to find anything that I do numerology wise in a numerology book or a computer program, or you go on numerology for the day. That's not what I do. So it's very tailored to what spirit gives me from heaven. So right now you're in a very positive cycle. So the thing is not to vacillate and not to let other people pull you off into many different directions. Okay. So I really want you to get into thy own self be true is really got to become your new mantra. And when you have numbers like this, I'm going to encourage you to give your advice, give your opinion, and then you take your hands off. Okay? And you finish with this. This is the powerful statement. I use it all the time. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I wish you the best. Okay? Because if you have these people that keep pulling on you or want you to be the fixer, they're going to leave the problem with you, and they're never going to change. So you offer your advice, you give your opinion, you take your hands off and say, I'm sure you'll figure it out. In other words, you can give your opinion and say, you know what, you may want to call here, you may want to look into this. I would research that, blah, 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 dee, and then you take your hands off. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I wish you the best.
Yes, Robin had, thank you, Joanne. Robin had just added this comment. It says, I am loving and attract negative people and narcissistic people. So what are you doing, Robin? So make that list. Fixer. Yeah, stop it. Let me get back up here to Kiki Willett. Okay, this is a tough one. I think I've read for Kiki before. She's so happy she found her eyeglasses to text. I'm right there with you, babe, because if I didn't have these on, I can't do anything. October 22, 1959. Now, the name that she gave me is Kiki, Keekee. Now, I don't know if that's her true name, her birth name, but whatever.
Well,
but
you know,
I'm just guessing. Her question, the reason it was a difficult question, it has been so frustrating dealing with my husband's Alzheimer's and financial situation. So this is a kind of question. So that might be.
Yeah, this has been a heavy duty emotional cycle for her. Huge. This year, especially, has been very difficult for her. I know April, May, and June, it was kind of like she was at the, just beyond, stress,
Right.
So let me look at this a little further here. 13-4. I want to say this in the most loving way, Kiki, is that this October, November, December, something's got to change. I really feel like it's stress is, I'm putting it that mildly, you've got it by the bushel this year, okay? And you're in that, that 18-month cycle. And, where we're going to see some relief is like June of next year. So all I'm going to tell you is, honey, is shore up, know God is your co-pilot, okay? Because I truly believe that with God, all things are possible. The impossible is that you got to have faith. We can't get into fear, because if you're in fear, you're not going to see where the solution or the miracle can come from. So you got to get into that part here. I feel like you're gonna need some help here, hon. And I know that you're strong and you want to, do this or whatever, but it's taking a toll on you emotionally, and you got to watch your stomach here, because you're stuffing a lot of your feelings, trying to be strong, do this, do that, or whatever. But you've got to look into either some agencies or some sort of support group or something. I'm feeling October, November, December, because you need a little cheer squad, that's what I'm feeling here.
Yeah.
So carry on, sweetheart. It's going to get somewhat better, but you have got to get some emotional support here. And there are definitely support groups. There's a lot of information out there, and you've got to dig for it. You've got to make phone calls, and you can't be afraid to speak about it. Okay.
Right. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
Great job, Joanne. Thank you. Valley Simmons said, definitely on point, Joanne. Thank you again. And Heidi, To Universe, she says, the two of you are awesome together. Always a great show. So thank you so much for that, Heidi. We got Robin, okay. And Kiki, okay, her birth name was Elizabeth, so I don't think that makes a difference compared to what you just told her.
Mm-hmm.
Capricorn, Hotshotology. You ladies are awesome. I am a Capricorn. Scorpio this year has been one of a kind. Well, you didn't give me your birth date, sweetheart. So if you want to drop your birth date in here, we'll see what we can do for you.
I do want to say this, though, to everybody out there. Carolan and I really work in synergy, and she's my go-to medium girl. Okay. Somebody wants the messages from heaven. Guess what? I give Carolan's phone number. Now, when they want to get into the here and the now and the, what's going on with my cards and the numerology, they're going to get it. I'm a straight shooter reader, as Carolan knows from experience. So I appreciate that you guys pick up that we're really good together, and we do work well together. So I'm grateful.
It's always a fun time because we come at it from two different angles.
Mm-hmm. We do.
And I appreciate that, Joanne. Thank you so much for telling me that. Let me see what else we got for you. Okay, so, here we go. They didn't give me their name, though. Hotshot, I need your name, honey. 12/30/83 is the birth date. I'm waiting for the name. And let's see. Robin says we have great energy together. Come on, Hotshot. Give me your name, sweetie. Or Mr. Both of you. Oh, Jill Sheen says, I have had readings for both of you personally, and you're both awesome. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. I'm not getting a name here on Hotshot, but it's a female.
Okay, well, this 1230 person is, it's already been through. It's really funny how things run in cycles. And even when I do expos, it's like, oh my God, I could, I'm nonstop, as you know, Carolan. The line forms and I just never stop. And it's funny and how many of the people that will sit down and get a reading, and they're in the same cycle. So this particular person, 12/30/1983, which I don't have the name, which would help. They've gone through that 18-month cycle.
Oh, here's the name. Carey, Carrie. Thank you, Del.
Okay. So this last, that really helps, because Carrie, if I was doing her whole chart, I mean, just by doing her first name, first of all, I know she's super, super sensitive. And so she takes, she takes the arrows too easy. And, I would definitely, like to help show her up here, because I think she's smart, as smart as a whip. I think she's a good-hearted person, but she is not a good judge of character, because she wants to be kind and loving to everybody. And they usually wind up hurting her, or her being taken advantage of. So she definitely needs some boundaries, and she definitely needs to work on loving herself and putting herself first. The last year and a half, I would say, has been really, really a difficult slot here. But the good news is that, what did you learn from that, Carrie? It's always a soul growth. And I can't emphasize that enough to everybody, is that there's always a positive swing to going through that 18-month of where you can grow with your soul to either become a stronger person, or to learn to correct a trait, or maybe letting go of unhealthy relationships, or if it's something within yourself, whether it's poor self-esteem or being a bad picker, there will be a lesson that will help you move forward, because now you're into this new cycle, which is a good thing. I do feel like October, November, and December, this is a time for positive changes. This is a time to break out of old habits. This is a time for you to take your rose-colored glasses off. That's an issue with your name, is that you want to see the best in everybody, and you're not being discerning. Discernment is the word that I would love to just embody to you. You have got to be true to yourself first. You first, not everybody else. You first. Rose-colored glasses, because you want to see the best in everybody, and that's where you get taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. But as far as October, November, and December, I say things are starting to break forward and really going on a positive upswing here. So this is a good thing. And I really hope that you start working on making some changes yourself, so that you're not being taken advantage of, and you're a sweet, soul, but you misjudge people, and that is something you need to work on.
Great reading. Thank you very much. Carrie is saying it has been tough. I don't have a word for it. Thank you so much for caring. And she said it is so true. So thank you very much for that.
Great.
I just want to, oops, you're doing, I don't know why I'm getting all these. I just want to check my calendar. I just want to remind everyone.
That's okay. This is psychic numerology, guys. So it's very different than somebody just being a numerologist. So that's why it's so different, and it's so personal as well. But remember, we're only getting a little piece of this with your first name.
Very detailed information, as you can see. Psychic Joanne Leo is Joanne's website. Please check that out. She has different readings for different people, and you'll find her. Buckle up before you talk to her, because she might blow your doors off. I just want to remind our viewers, next week would be November 12th, and I will be doing readings myself on my own show. I've had a lot of guests over the last few months, so taking some time out, and I'm going to be doing some readings. I hope you would join me next week. The following week, now we only have 3 shows in November because we have a holiday here. The following week, which will be November 19th, is a special show as well, like tonight was. We have Kelly Jo Psychic and Jason Zook, the social psychic, will be joining me on this show on the 19th, and they're a dynamite combination as well. Please check out November 14th on our website. I think we put the link up previously here for our patrons, so that you can join us. And you that's a spirit circle, I believe, and you can buy slots of time, 15 minutes, a half hour, for readings from like 5 or 6 of us. And Linnell can tell you it's great, and Robin's been on, and a lot of people. We have another couple of people on here that snuck in, so let me get them. We're at 8:47. Let me see what we can do. Alexandra, you got to give me your date of birth, honey. Diane, can I have a quick read, please, on health and money? She only gives me 5/10, May 10th.
Okay, very good. That's fine.
Okay.
And here's another one that's gone through her 18 months of up, down, in, and out, and that added principle that we talked about, blessings and lessons. Okay. Not an easy rodeo, but now she's in this brand new 8-year cycle. So this is very positive.
Sorry.
And now it's getting into October, November, and December with her. I think it's really kind of exciting because it's kind of like freedom, or it's like changes that are different than what's been going on this year. Also, when she was in July, August, and September, it had something to do with the work situation. Now, her questions were about what? What did she say she wanted to know?
What did she want to know? Hold on one second here. Let me go back up and check. And it was, health and money.
Okay. There's definitely got to be some changes and I do feel like there's a money opportunity or some aspect of either a raise or a bonus or whatever. As far as health, I feel like she has got to be more mindful of checkups. She needs her checkups. I don't know if it's a gastroenterologist or a gynecologist or whatever, but I do feel that I want the diagnostics. Okay. Do I feel like there's some confusion here, or that she's got a couple different symptoms? Yes, but I don't feel that it's anything dramatic or really serious here. That's why I want her to get the diagnostics, and then let's look at, do we want a natural approach, or is there something that can correct the situation? Okay. So I went through that last year. And it was just a matter of me getting a medication, and it solved the problem. So the thing is let's not overthink here. That's a problem here, Diane. So I know that you're very caring, you're very loving, you're very smart, very organized. So you've got a good balance with your name here, and that's only your first name. So God knows what I'd get out of the rest of your chart. But I really feel like, this is, let's dot the I's and cross the T's here. You got a brand new beginning here. So let's get this out of the way. Let's get these things organized so that you're not making yourself crazy here or wondering or whatever. But I don't feel like it's anything major.
Okay. Thank you for that, Joanne. I just want to read you a comment from Kiki/Elizabeth, who had said, "So grateful, thank you, and love hearing the advice and insight. It's comforting. I am staying positive and fearless." So that's good. Good for you, dear. Alexandra is March 22nd, 99.
We've had a lot of 22s this show. And we've had a lot of people who have gone through this 18-month cycle, the year to the 18 months. I mean, it's really wild. That's a master number 2, Alexandra. So I think the biggest thing is that I think there's a dichotomy with you. Number one, I know that you're very smart. You could be a little stubborn, but you're very strong. Okay, and that's a good thing. And I like that you have enough sizzle in your chart, but you're organized as well. I think the most important thing is that you don't get scattered. Okay, I do feel like you've got a great personality. You're creative in a couple different things here. It could be drawing, it could be, crafty, it could be somebody who's very communicative. That's part of your essence here. But I think you can be a little too hard on yourself. And I would say that you're picky. Okay. Yeah. So this year, it's kind of like, I think you've been a little bit on edge. Okay. And I don't know if that's because you are not being true to yourself. And also you should have a what you deserve list and a non-negotiable list for sure. I feel like there's some sort of issue going on with the relationship or family situation, and that's running through October, November, and December. So, Carolan's heard me say this a gazillion times because I believe in self-empowerment and retooling ourselves. So you've got to start getting into the mindset of good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. And stop being so hard on yourself. Nothing's perfect. I haven't met a happy perfectionist yet, and I've been doing this for over 35 years. I'm still looking for the happy perfectionist. Haven't found one yet.
Great job, Joanne. Thank you. Let me see. I had another compliment here. What was that? That was from Robin, I think, was where does it say? "Thank you, ladies, for a great show. You touched my heart." One more sneaking in here. I think we can do it. We're at 8:53. I think we can sneak this lady in. Alexandra says, "Thank you very much." Elaine, first time here. 8/11/49. Elaine with an E on the end. ELAINE. Elaine.
Okay, Elaine. Well, this is a year of being flexible. Because things are, and I think we've all gone through a little bit of that, but most importantly, it's with your birthday. I think you have a gift here, and if you don't use it, it's kind of like, the same thing if you go to the gym and you work on a muscle, you define it. Well, it's the same thing with your gut feelings here. And every time you haven't followed your gut feeling, Elaine, you've made your boo-boos. It's a gift from God. You got to use it. Okay, you're very strong. You've got a lot of sizzle in your chart. So you've got a booming personality here. And I do feel that you're very smart, but you can be a little too stubborn, and you got a karmic number here that it is like you want it done your way, and you're going to have to learn the lesson to take the blinders off your eyes, the cotton out of your ears. and listen to what everybody has to say. Okay. So if I said to you, Elaine, you need to do this, this, and this karmic number says, really, I don't really give a damn what you have to say. I'm going to do it my way. So to overcome this karmic lesson that you have is that you listen to what everybody has to say, and here's how you respond. Let me think about that. Let me get back to you. That way you can take a piece of this and put it to the way that you wanted to do it, and might even embellish it and make it even 100 times better. So I want you to work on that. But as far as this year goes, I know that family situation or a relationship has been a little emotional. And I do feel that October, November, and December, we've got to get to some resolution. Now, in order to have a healthy relationship, let me tell everybody 3 things, very important. First, trust. Second, respect. Respect is a 2-way street. Self-respect always, and respect for the other person. And the third thing is communication. When respect is gone, I can't help you. Okay, there's no fixing that relationship.
Right.
You got a trust issue, you got communication issues, I'm your girl. Okay, but you to thy own self be true is what I'm going to tell you, Elaine. And I know that you're very sensitive, and I know you're very stubborn. So a lot of times you can get stuck. So that karmic number is going to kick your butt if you don't work on it. Okay. So I leave you with that, honey. God bless you. I know that you've got to come to some resolutions October, November, and December.
Great reading, Joanne. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. We had a great show. I just want to leave you with a couple of comments. Hotshot/Carrie had said, she loved, this is a great show. She's laughing, and she said, love that. And Carol says, this channel is so much fun. I think she's referring to the Goldylocks Productions group of terrific shows. Elaine just said, thank you. That's great. Thank you. She's going to take your advice to heart. Once again, psychic at JoanneLeo.com is the website. You've seen her here. You can also catch her once in a while on the Jimmy Mac show. And I think you're on there monthly, and you're on here pretty much monthly.
Yeah.
And you're a video personality.
Yeah.
You're my lady. You're a great friend, a wonderful life coach. You zero in on the problems and shovel out that advice with kid gloves.
Right.
And
the cars. We've got here personal choices. So that's what we talked about tonight.
Great.
Is to thy own self be true, and to really put ourselves first. No school teaches that, So if you think about it, where have they taught the lesson even in grade school to love yourself first? They don't. And that's my specialty. So when you have your whole name on your birth chart and your birth date, you're going to understand yourself 100 times better.
And also, I don't want to neglect this. You do family charts.
Oh, I do. It's amazing how the souls are connected. And it's really great if you have children, because when you have your children's chart, you really can help hone them to their best qualities or the stumbling blocks so that you can work on it better.
Yeah, especially when you're like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That with my daughter, I'm like, whose kid is this? So that's a great, that's something you might want to think about. And I'm sure you could arrange that as great Christmas gifts. This is a gift that is so personal. Everybody's got every, thing that they need. They have enough clothes, they have enough sweaters, they have enough shoes, they have enough phones, they have everything. But something from the heart, a reading from Joanne Leo would be a knock your socks off gift. So please consider that. You can speak to her about buying gift certificate. Okay. Joanne Leo. We have 1 minute. Thank you, Joanne, for being with us. I just want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Our people love you. And thank you to all the viewers. Don't forget to check out our Goldylocks Productions Facebook, YouTube channel, Periscope, for events. We have an event next weekend, November 14th, Spiritual Circle. So please join that. My website is carolancarey.com. And I hope that you will consider me your spirit connection. Thank you. Don't forget to join us next week. Have a good night. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Carolan. Bye-bye.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.